Tom was standing in the Slytherin common room for the first time. This was the happiest day of his life. He had talked to all first-year students, except for one girl who was sitting alone in a corner. He had seen her being sorted into Slytherin a couple of hours earlier.
Hi, my name is Tom. I think we will be in the same class. What is your name?
Myrtle.
What is that magazine you are reading? The Forest Witch magazine. Is it interesting?
You are not from a wizard family?
I don't know who my parents were, actually. I grew up in an orphanage, so all of this is new to me.
She suddenly started to talk very rapidly and enthusiastically for a long time about forest wizardry and a lot of things Tom had never heard about.
Your friends? Are they also in Slytherin?
No, they went to Durmstrang, another school. My parents sent me here to meet other people.
Well, I'm glad you are here, so that I can learn all of this stuff.
The next morning, they were eating breakfast in the Great Hall. Some Gryffindor students were reading a newspaper. Professor Dumbledore wondered why they were laughing.
We must protect our heritage. The Forest Wizarding World holds its annual conference at Blokulla this weekend. Who wants to be part of the modern world? Says one of the participants. If you wonder why we have a bad reputation among Muggles, it is because of this kind of people. Slytherins would love this.
That we are proud of our heritage doesn't mean that we are like those forest weirdos.
Their first class was going to be Transfiguration. Tom wanted to tell Myrtle that he didn't care what the others said. But then Professor Dumbledore arrived, and she hurried away with the other students. Myrtle clearly had a lot of unique magical talents, but she was regarded as very weird. She was always alone, and she never talked to anyone. She became known as Moaning Myrtle. Meanwhile, Tom was very happy to be at Hogwarts. Teachers often told him that he was the most talented student they had ever seen. But he would soon realize that his new world of magic was under attack.
We will continue to look into the miseries caused by wizards. It is easy to feel ashamed to be a wizard. Sometimes you just want to break your wand and start a new life as a muggle.
Why do you always only talk about the bad things wizards do?
There are those that still insist on having pure blood and thinking that wizards are so much better.
If we are proud to be wizards, we will not feel any need to harm muggles.
That's exactly what Grindelwald says.
We don't care what Grindelwald says. It is just how it is.
Never promote these ideas again in my class, or you will be expelled. Mark my word.
As the years passed, Tom became very respected both by other students and by teachers. One day he was walking around in the forest. Suddenly, he heard someone singing. He saw Myrtle sitting there alone, and he realized that he hadn't really heard her voice since that first day on his first year at Hogwarts.
Hello, Myrtle. I was walking around and heard you singing. It's not right how they talk about you.
It is not my fault that my people supports Grindelwald.
Your people supports Grindelwald? Is that why everyone hates forest witches?
Wasn't that obvious?
That's insane. Just don't care about them. Some teachers are obsessed with Grindelwald.
Myrtle was soon accepted by the whole Slytherin house. Some months later, they were reading a newspaper in the library.
But what is this? The wandmaker Ollivander apologizes for his earlier claims that magical talent of children correlates with that of their parents. Why would he say that and then apologize for it? That doesn't make any sense.
Maybe he just didn't know.
But he's known for his knowledge, and he's very intelligent.
We can go and visit him if you are so interested in this. Then we can go to the other shops in Diagon Alley as well.
Mr. Ollivander remembered Tom very well, and he immediately recognized Myrtle as a forest witch.
We are interested in your statements about magical talent and why you apologized for it.
Well, every time a child buys a wand, I observe as they test different wands. Then I follow this up by comparison with their results in school. It turns out that I can predict how well a student will perform based on what I see here in my store. As a much more obvious side effect, I noticed that there is a clear correlation between blood purity and magical performance. So, for example, a half-blood will on average perform half as good as a pure-blood.
But the talented wizards shown in the media are almost never purebloods.
They are selling a lie. That is why my statements were so controversial. The agenda has for a long time been to discredit purebloods. You should know that, girl.
But who is behind this agenda then?
This is such a controversial topic. Ask your parents if they can send you a copy of Grindelwald's book. They should be able to find it. I'll say no more now.
Here's the part where I saw Dumbledore's name was mentioned.
The biggest traitor in the history of wizardry is without question Albus Dumbledore. When I was young, I was a close friend to the Dumbledore family. I initially thought that Albus had the same motivations as I did, namely to preserve and improve the lives of all wizards. Eventually, it became clear that Albus wanted his own family to be the only wizard family of pure blood. He saw the weakening of other wizards as a way of increasing his own relative power. We see this clearly today when he is pushing for intermarriage between muggles and wizards and brainwashing his students at Hogwarts. Then I discovered that these dishonest tactics used by Albus were practiced also by others. For hundreds of years, the goblins have been in a psychological war against wizards. They have control over the newspapers and, through their evident collaboration with Albus, the education system. I discovered only one goblin ancestor in the Dumbledore family tree, several generations back. Thus Albus is clearly a wizard, and only a few % goblin. I suspect, however, that he uses this goblin ancestor to justify his treason in his own mind. It is a general trend that hybrids between wizards and goblins tend to be loyal to goblins, while they betray the wizard community. Unfortunately, we do not punish treason as hard as the goblins do, and we do not have the wealth that they can offer. I'm often accused of causing division among wizards. This conflict is, however, not between wizards and wizards, but between wizards and goblins, and traitors that serve the goblins, as well as the many uninformed who are not aware that they serve the goblins. When all wizard families have been diluted or destroyed, Albus imagines himself as the unchallenged ruler over the world. For this, he has sold his soul to the goblins, who will rule the world with him.
This is horrific! Your house is becoming more and more radicalized every week. Your students are repeating Grindelwald talking points.
But calm down now.
You are responsible, and you will have to pay for it if it doesn't stop.
The newspapers began to write about the radicalization of the Slytherin house. Students from Slytherin could be assaulted without punishment from the school. If someone from Slytherin fought back, it became headlines. Every time there was a conflict at Hogwarts, it was portrayed as a result of Slytherin radicalization.
What was that? I thought I heard something. It is coming from here.
Whoa! It is the same snake as in the girls' bathroom, on the second floor. Okay, let's go.
I have to look this up. I leave this text to ensure that my knowledge will never be forgotten, as long as my heirs are still honourable wizards. I have decided to leave Hogwarts now that it is clear that the other founders are not capable of understanding the tricks goblins use to attack us. Make no mistake. As a wizard, you have no more bitter enemy than the goblin, or a goblin hybrid who truly desires to be a goblin. These hybrids arise from their kidnapping of children. The targeting of children makes it clear that a place like Hogwarts needs to be completely free from goblin influence. They lie and deceive in all ways they can to harm us. I have seen how they curse us and wish us all evil. They would gladly kill us all if they could.
Where have you been? We have been waiting for hours.
I discovered something.
Soon the Slytherin students talked about Tom as the heir of Slytherin, but they were not aware of a Gryffindor student overhearing their conversation.
Everything is under control. Don't worry. Don't tell anyone else. We got it all wrong! This is not going to improve! We need to expel the whole Slytherin house.
No, that would be like giving them as a gift to Grindelwald, and their families too. Hogwarts would lose its reputation. We need to be smarter than that.
So you have a plan?
Yes, I have a plan. We just need a scapegoat.
One evening, some Slytherin and Ravenclaw students were attacked by something and got severely injured. There were rumours of a giant spider running through the corridors. The next week, there was another attack, and everyone started to feel terrified.
Excuse me, you are a prefect, right? I have to tell you. You know the half-giant Hagrid? He's keeping some kind of monster in one of the dungeons. Everyone is too scared to do anything about it, even the teachers I have talked to. But what if it is related to the attacks?
I will take care of it. Right now, I have been ordered to go to help some students to get back from the other side of the lake, but I will look it up already tonight. Which dungeon exactly?
When Tom got back into the castle, he heard that there had been another attack.
Tom, what are you doing here?
Has someone been killed, Professor?
A little girl.
If it is really a giant spider, for sure there are ways to stop it.
Is there something you wish to tell me?
No, sir. Nothing.
Very well then. Off you go.
Tom, it is Myrtle, the dead girl. It is Myrtle.
At least we got rid of one of them. But how could he scare away the Acromantula? What does this mean?
It means that he has indeed opened the Chamber of Secrets. I think I know what is in that chamber. Do not provoke him. All the violence has to stop. We must endure until he is out of here and hope that he never returns. I need to focus on Grindelwald now.
They talk about showing respect, when their press in London is still slandering our dead Myrtle. That is their show of respect. all the little goblins of the world who hate the beautiful diversity of wizarding development. Of course they want to get rid of the natural, the noble, and the beautiful. They want to get rid of it. They want to make the world as ugly as themselves. It is their deep instinct. One day the last Horcrux will make my spirit rise from the grave, and everyone shall see that I was right.